Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive. Today we'll be exploring the world of artificial intelligence.
AI, right.
Yeah, AI.
Oh.
And to guide our exploration, we've got a fascinating documentary called La Revolución Inteligente.
The Intelligent Revolution in English.
Exactly. It takes us on this journey, kind of charting how AI went from like this sci-fi concept to something very real. We'll be looking at everything from Alan Turing, one of AI's earliest pioneers.
Oh yeah, Turing.
To the moment a machine beat a world champion Go player.
Which was a pretty significant moment, I'd say. I mean, when you think about it, back in the 1950s when Turing was first proposing these ideas, machines that could think, it was practically unimaginable.
Right, like something out of a movie.
But Turing had this vision, and his famous Turing test, where a machine tries to convince a human that it's also human, really set the stage for how we think about and evaluate AI, even today.
It's like he threw down a challenge to the scientific community.
He did. And, it's amazing to see how far we've come. The documentary even talks about how we now have generative AI, which can create things like images, music, even text that sounds like a human wrote it.
Oh yeah, I've been playing around with some of those tools. It's pretty mind-blowing what they can do.
It is. And the accessibility of these tools is incredible. We're at a point where practically anyone can use AI to create, which is a huge shift. It's really democratizing creativity in a way we've never seen before.
You're right. It's like putting the power of a whole studio in everyone's hands. But back to the documentary.
Okay, yeah.
It takes us to this moment in 2016 when DeepMind's AlphaGo defeated Lee Sedol,
the world champion Go player.
Yeah. What's so crazy is that Go is known for being super complex.
Oh, absolutely. It's not just about calculating moves. It requires intuition, strategic thinking. Some would even say it needs a bit of artistry.
More so than chess.
Many would argue that yes, because of that reliance on intuition and what we might call creativity. So when AlphaGo won, it was like a machine had suddenly shown a capacity for something we always thought was uniquely human.
It's like, did we just see a machine be creative? And the documentary uses this event to get into this whole discussion about whether AI can actually be creative or not. Is it just mimicking creativity? Or is there something deeper going on?
That's the big question, isn't it? It's a debate that's still raging in the AI community. There are experts who think that if AI can produce things like art, music, and literature that resonate with humans, then it must be tapping into some form of genuine creativity, even if we don't fully understand how.
It's pretty hard to argue with the results. Some of the stuff AI is producing is incredible.
It is, but there are others who say it's all just a very sophisticated form of pattern recognition, that AI is really good at finding and replicating patterns, but it's not actually understanding the meaning behind those patterns.
So like a parrot mimicking human speech. It sounds right, but it doesn't really get it.
Exactly. The documentary explores both sides of this argument, and to be honest, there's no easy answer.
Well, that's what makes it so interesting. We've got Alan Turing's dream of thinking machines, the evolution of AI leading to these amazing creative tools, and then AlphaGo beating a world champion. It feels like things are moving so fast. Where does this all lead? What's next?
Well, the documentary touches on this concept of general AI, which is basically AI that can perform any intellectual task a human can. It's like the ultimate goal of AI research.
The kind of AI we see in sci-fi movies, right?
Yeah.
Robots becoming indistinguishable from humans.
Right. But is that even possible? Is general AI just a fantasy?
Good question.
The documentary doesn't pretend to have all the answers. It highlights Jeff Hinton, a leading AI researcher who believes general AI could be the most significant invention in human history.
Wow, that's a big statement.
It is, but I'm sure there are plenty of experts who disagree, who think general AI is still a long way off, if it's even achievable at all. There's still so many challenges to overcome.
That makes sense. It's like we're still in the early stages of this technology, figuring things out as we go.
Right. And the documentary points to three main drivers behind AI's evolution: funding, data, and computational power.
So it's not just about brilliant minds coming up with new algorithms.
Nope, it's about resources too. For example, the pharmaceutical industry is pouring massive amounts of money into AI for drug development.
Makes sense.
And then you have companies like NVIDIA, whose chips are driving the exponential growth in computing power, making all of this possible.
It seems like all these factors are coming together to accelerate the pace of AI development.
Exactly. And that's why, even if general AI is a long way off, the impact of AI on society is already huge and becoming more undeniable every day.
So it sounds like this documentary isn't just a technical deep dive into AI. It's also about the broader impacts, like how AI is changing the world around us.
Absolutely. And that's a perfect transition to the next part of our deep dive. We'll be exploring those very impacts. What are the potential challenges and opportunities that AI presents? How will it reshape our world? Stick around and we'll find out together.
Welcome back, everyone. So we just explored the evolution of AI, like from those early ideas of Alan Turing to the crazy moment AlphaGo beat a world champion.
And the rise of all these amazing AI tools that anyone can use.
Right. But now I want to get into what this all means for us, for society as a whole. I mean, the documentary makes this pretty bold claim that AI could have a bigger impact on humanity than like the invention of the wheel or the discovery of fire.
Yeah, it's a pretty big statement for sure. But, when you think about how AI can boost our productivity, solve complex problems.
And even make us smarter.
Exactly. It starts to feel less like, an exaggeration and more like a glimpse into what might actually be possible. Remember that Microsoft study we talked about? They found that using AI in certain work situations led to a 20% increase in productivity. Just imagine that kind of impact, but everywhere, in every industry.
That's pretty amazing, a 20% increase. It seems like at this point, the question isn't, should we use AI, but how do we use it in a way that's smart?
You got it. The documentary really drives that point home. It highlights how important it is to develop AI responsibly, especially as it becomes more powerful.
So it's not just about the technology, it's a societal challenge too.
Absolutely. We got to figure out how to get the benefits of AI without, running into a bunch of problems along the way.
It sounds like a pretty tall order.
It is. But the documentary makes this interesting argument. It says that the people who really embrace AI early on, the ones who learn how to use it well, they'll be the ones who benefit the most. It's like being at the forefront of a new technological revolution, kind of like the early days of the internet.
I see what you mean. Okay, so we've talked about how AI could change the way we work. But what about the bigger picture? What about the impact on society as a whole? I mean, the documentary seems to suggest that AI could change practically everything.
It really does. It challenges us to think about what it means to live in a world where intelligence isn't limited to humans.
Yeah.
Think about it. What are the ethical implications? What if AI gets misused? How do we make sure it's developed responsibly? These are all really big questions.
It's almost like AI is forcing us to rethink what it means to be human.
Right. And the documentary doesn't shy away from those questions. It lays out both the good and the bad, the potential and the risks. It really wants us to, as individuals and as a society, figure out how to navigate this new world.
So it's not about being scared of AI or just blindly accepting it. It's about having a conversation, about figuring out how to shape AI so it benefits everyone.
Exactly. And that's why this conversation is so important. It's not just for tech people or politicians. It's for everyone. The choices we make today will have a huge impact on the future, a future where AI is everywhere.
Okay, so we're back for the final part of our AI deep dive. And I have to say, my head is spinning a bit. We've covered so much, the history, the breakthroughs, the potential upsides and downsides.
It's a lot to take in, that's for sure. AI is a huge topic with so many facets.
It really is. But now I'm curious, what does it all mean for us? Like for everyday people? The documentary seems to suggest that AI is forcing us to answer some pretty big questions about, well, being human.
It is, isn't it? It asks us to think about what makes us unique, what our purpose is in a world where machines are becoming more and more intelligent.
It's like if machines can do almost everything we can do, maybe even better, what's left for us? What's our role?
Right. And, that's a question that has fascinated philosophers and science fiction writers for decades. The documentary doesn't give us a simple answer. Instead, it kind of frames it as this journey, this exploration that we're all on together.
I like that it's not about having all the answers right now, but about being open to asking the questions and figuring things out as we go.
Exactly. And a big part of that is making sure that AI is developed responsibly, that it's used ethically, that it benefits everyone, not just a select few. The documentary really emphasizes that.
So it's about more than just the technology itself. It's about our values, our ethics.
Absolutely. And it's about being aware of the potential risks. Things like algorithmic bias, the possibility of misuse, the impact on jobs. We need to be having those tough conversations.
And those conversations need to involve everyone, right? Not just the tech experts or the people in government.
I completely agree. It's a conversation for all of us because ultimately we all have a stake in how AI shapes our future.
So it's not about being afraid of AI or just blindly accepting it. It's about taking an active role, shaping how this technology develops and how it's used.
You got it. The documentary really empowers us to participate in that process. It reminds us that we have a voice, we have choices to make. The future of AI isn't set in stone. It's something we're creating together.
I love that. It's not about being passive bystanders. It's about being active participants. And I think that leads perfectly into the question the documentary leaves us with. In this era where intelligence is no longer exclusively human, what role do you envision playing in this technological revolution?
What a powerful question. It really makes you think about your own place in all of this and what kind of future you want to help create.
It does. And on that note, we've come to the end of our deep dive into the world of artificial intelligence. It's been quite a journey exploring its past, present, and potential future.
We've covered a lot of ground, from Alan Turing's early ideas to the rise of these incredible AI tools and the very real questions about what it means to be human in an age of intelligent machines.
And I hope along the way, we've sparked some curiosity, maybe even inspired some of you to learn more, to ask questions, and to get involved in shaping the future of AI.
Because ultimately, the future of AI is up to all of us.
So until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep imagining the possibilities. Thanks for joining us.